But I want to talk about this story right here. Title: Janitors Union called a strike outside of Twitter, so Elon Musk canceled his contract and fired the janitors. I know, like, for a lot of the economic illiterates and the people that feel like they have a right to just other people's private property, they're not going to like that. They're going to say he's cruel. They're going to say he's cold. I say this as a business owner. The minute, definitely nowadays, because everything's like, definitely when you inherit another business, but business in general, when you get people that start acting up, okay, um, that could derail your business, and you might as well cut the bait early, right? Just get rid of it. But let's read this story because it's a little hilarious. Janitors hired to clean at Twitter headquarters in San Francisco, which is a crap hole, by the way, protested after 20 employees were fired. So the social media company bought by Elon Musk fired the rest of them. Critics of Musk are outraged that he will fire the workers just weeks before Christmas. That's y'all's fault. Y'all should have thought about that before doing this. Says our cleaning contractor at Twitter was told by Twitter that they are cutting the contract. And Olga Miranda, who's the union president for the janitors, so we have about 48 families out of work, and it just so happens that it's 3 weeks before Christmas. Now, this is what you may see, and this is the why unions itself are rotten. I wonder if the unions were the ones that were pushing for this sort of protest, and now maybe there are people that didn't even want to be a part of it that maybe had to be forced because it is California. Maybe they were forced into this union, and now they're going to be out of job because of their silly ways. That could very well be the case. Representative
That's what got my attention on this topic, and I want to carry it from here. I didn't hear about this until I saw Young Rippa's video today. That's why I wanted to start with it to kind of get the vibe for what got me the passion to do this. Your boy had to clean up for a second. I just had a meeting, nothing big. So I was like, I do the same scene every show, so I might as well just keep this on. No need to change to a MAGA. Maybe I should do some middle MAGA gear for like professionals too. You wouldn't have the MAGA showing. Maybe it's under the collar so it's there. But picking it up is the problem I have is with the unions. I have a very big problem. I'm not necessarily every union. Any union that does what I'm going to show you here, this is the same union, same discussion about what young Rippa was talking about. I have a problem with the union, and you need to break ties with that. You need to do whatever you can to further yourself, make yourself you are a value to a company, and you've got to make yourself as valuable as possible so you can have options. The unions don't really do enough to tell you that. And I'm going to go over this. Like he said, janitors hired to clean at Twitter's headquarters in San Francisco protested after 20 employees were fired. So social media company, Elon bought Twitter, and Elon said, hey, I'm firing. He had to cut costs, so he's probably looking at it like, damn, how often we cleaning this stuff? And he's bleeding money. One of the loans he took was at like 11% interest. And you're talking about off of $3 billion. It's a lot of money, quickly. Interest rates are rising. That's why he wants the Federal Reserve not to raise them, even though they have to, Elon. We know they have to. Don't lie to us. He just is worried about his loans. That's what he's worried about. But back to the story, critics of Musk were outraged he would fire the workers just weeks before Christmas. Whenever you see a company get taken over, it's almost like someone buying a new house. They're going to go through the house, especially if it's, when you buy a company, the house isn't empty. You've got employees. You're going to go through and you're going to say, where do I need to get rid of people? What can I get? What can I throw away? What do I need to keep? I know that sounds cold, but life is cold. Let's stop playing games. We're grown adults, grown-ass men and women. Life is cold. If you have a business and you're losing more money than you're making, you've got to get rid of overhead, whether that's material items or people. That is life. It doesn't matter if it's before Christmas or not. So we need to be honest about that, and unions need to be honest about this. And Olga, this is a quote from Olga, our cleaning contractor at Twitter, was told that they were cutting the contract. It said Olga Miranda, union president for the janitors. If you are a union president, you have a big responsibility in your hands. So I don't know the details of what happened there, But if someone is going to go ahead and say, hey, we're going to start protesting, if somebody says, hey, we're going to start protesting, you as the union head have to go to them and because I don't know who initiated it, but the responsibility still, and if they didn't do that, I don't know if they did or not, that's what they would need to do is go to the people and say, hey, Elon just took over. Here are the pros and cons. You are contracted. He does not have to. This isn't like a union working with like a car manufacturer, for example. He had an easy route, even in California, to firing them. So the union head has to go to the workers and say, think about this. You do what you need to do, but if you just had somebody take over the company, they're losing money. The union head should know all of this. They're losing money. That's why they fired some people. If we do this move now, the risk is he just fires everyone. Now's the time to show our value. Now's the time to be as efficient as possible. If you don't like the working conditions, if you don't like the pay, then you need to make yourself a commodity down the road. Let's say we make the move in February to start picketing or whatever we're doing, or whenever it is. By then, you've got to get your ducks in a row just in case he cuts the ties because he can do it at any time. That doesn't look like that discussion was had. And what's the point of the union if they're not giving the workers the information they need? That's the problem I have. I'm going to keep on going here. So we have about 48 families out of work, and it so just happens that it's 3 weeks before Christmas. If Olga, if you didn't let them know that could happen or warn them, then that's on you, in part, and them as well. But especially as a leader, then that is more responsibility. A representative of this local union. I'm going to go into this more here. This union, and this is where I have the problem with the unions. Why is this union supporting Joe Biden for president? If you are a part of a workers' union and the union you're a part of is supporting a political candidate for president, you are in a bad situation. There's absolutely no reason for a union to be stepping in and endorsing a president. There is none. There is no reason for it. Their goal should be keeping you employed. Number one, why are you even worried about this? Keep me employed through negotiations, all that, highest pay and benefits. And then also help me become the most whatever resources. You've got a lot of people paying dues into something. Maybe you can get me online courses at a certain college for free or something like that. Maybe they do that. I don't know. But those are the top things, not endorsing a president. If a union wants to say, hey, I know the election's up and you all are thinking, here are some of the bullet points we've seen from this president, that president. You make the best decision for you, your family, social work, and all that. But we're not here to endorse anybody or not. That's what you would hear from a credible union. So instead, they endorse. Why? Let's look at this. Why did they endorse? As union members, we do not take our endorsement. This is the same union. They, in my opinion, got those workers fired from Elon Musk probably prematurely. They probably would have got fired anyway, is my guess, but they probably got them fired earlier than they needed to be. They didn't have leverage. So they say they take this back. This is back in 2019. The same union said that we're feeling the crush of three crises right now. The pandemic, of course, that was a big topic. Well, actually, this was 2020, obviously leading up to the 2020 election. So this post-pandemic, we got a pandemic that they're saying the federal government has failed with, structural racism. What does that have to do with me, my job, my benefits, making me the best commodity? So we're already off to a bad start. And then police brutality. What the hell does that have to do? If you're a janitor as a part of this union, what the hell does police brutality have to do with you and your job? So they're off track already. That kills black people. What the hell are we talking about? Now, okay, look at this. So they say, hey, you're representing workers that don't make potentially that much money. So the economy is rigged to only help those at the top. Why do they say that? Well, why did they say because of that you have to support Biden? They said that because of the minimum wage. So when you look at this, Biden has a tweet about the minimum wage. On their website, they said Vice President Biden has fought alongside us to raise wages. So they're talking about the federal raises. The link here This is from the union's website. I went to the union's website. You click on the link, it takes you to who's fighting alongside us to raise raises. It goes back to a tweet from 2019 from Joe Biden, where he said every worker in this country deserves the dignity that comes with fair wages and benefits and the right to collectively bargain. I'm proud to stand with Detroit security officers today as they fight for a $15 minimum wage and union rights. Remember, this is from the same union that got the janitors fired, in my opinion, from Twitter. On their website, why do you support Joe Biden? Because of this tweet for the $15 minimum wage, the federal minimum wage. The federal minimum wage never happened. So who are you all holding accountable if the union told you to vote for Biden, the unions got you fired from your job, you voted for Biden, and you didn't get a $15 minimum wage? Now, the minimum wage in San Francisco was higher than $15, but you might think if the federal wage goes up, maybe even these go up above $15. But it was in 2020, in July of 2020, it was $16.07. Or $16.77 in 2020. So what is your real motivation? And I'm gonna end with this. What is the real motivation of the union? The union is to get workers are a huge voting body. So one of the ways that you would, if you wanted to maintain power and stay in charge, what you would do is say, hey, I want to control this body of people, low wage to minimum wage to middle class workers, and put them under this umbrella of unions. And then I can control the union heads, and then they can say endorse Biden and we negotiate for a longer break or something like that. But at the end of the day, they funnel everyone back to the cabal. There's none of these unions that are MAGA. Some of the police unions voted for Trump, and look at the big push in 2020, and still to this day, it's anti-police. It's not an accident. If the police union funneled through Joe Biden, they would be like, love the police, the statistics are wrong, love your local police authorities. You are being manipulated. If a union tries to tell you, here's who we're endorsing for this political office, the same thing happens to the teachers union. That's what happened in the teachers union with the pandemic and all that. They funneled all that was funneled through. We know of communications between the federal government, executive branch, and the teachers union. It's all a mirage. You've got to break free of this. And I'm going to say MAGA is another missed opportunity for MAGA. MAGA should be in the streets. And easy for me to say I'm not in the streets. No, I don't know. Who knows if that changes or not. I got a family, 2 kids. I got to get paid. I got to do stuff. But if you are a politician, that's your job, to be in the streets, or at least to motivate people, to rally people, knocking on doors and all that. Why isn't MAGA in the streets saying we are pro-workers? Here's the problem we have with unions. I haven't heard anybody articulate that. I haven't heard any MAGA candidate articulate to working class people. And I think MAGA is more of the working class party than the uniparty. So why isn't MAGA somehow getting a message to these workers, whether it's San Francisco or elsewhere, to say, look at what they've done to you, and then present a solution? If I'm off base, let me know what you think. I want to, again, promote the Discord. We've got a lot of good activity in the Discord. Got more people coming through the Discord. I even saw Casual Goats like, hey, Discord's popping off a little bit. Like, what we need to get a better understanding of what's happening. Why was Britney freed? Is it because she's a member of this community that you have as a state religion? I don't know. Casual Goats is in here too. So we're popping it off. We can get more topics going in the Discord. If you want to reach me, I'm going to prioritize that to say, hey, we want a community. I know it's kind of rough. It's under Microsoft, but I'm just going to host it under Microsoft until they stop us. If they don't, hopefully they don't. We have respectful conversation. And if not, we move it to whatever that thing Jeremy from the quartering is using or whatever else. They can't stop us. Let me know what you think about the unions. I'm not for it. Take care.